Hello friends, today I have the CINELOG30 V3 in my hands, and this isn't exactly a review. To jump ahead, I'll say that it's a pretty nice drone to fly, but it has its flaws. But what I really want to talk about is that you shouldn't be tempted by promotions and sales even from big companies like Geprc, and how awful management can be, ruining all customer relations despite having a good product. While I'm disassembling CINELOG30, I'll tell you an interesting story. I ordered the CINELOG30 V3 back in the spring when there was a great deal on it. The drone assembled with a video system for practically the same price as the drone without a video system, around $370 to $400. Of course, I ordered it, especially since Geprc is one of the leading manufacturers in FPV. Then everything proceeds as usual. Delivery, shipment, and the package gets stuck somewhere in China for several weeks. After that, the delivery information is updated, stating that the package did not pass customs and has been returned to the sender. Geprc managers quickly got in touch, apologized for what had happened, said it was due to China's internal laws, and offered to refund my money. I have no complaints about the managers, but the point is that the promotion had already ended, and I could only get the same set for $470 to $500. So I suggested to the Geprc managers that instead of giving me a refund, they should send the drone to my friends in China so they could bring it to me, or I could go to China myself and pick it up later. And that's when they started giving me weird and confusing reasons for not doing that. At first they said that AliExpress would not be able to ship it, but when I contacted AliExpress technical support and agreed that they could ship it, Geprc came up with a new reason, saying that they simply could not ship within China because they only ship from Hong Kong. But the tracking number indicated that my drone had been shipped and returned to the manufacturer in mainland China. In the end, I never received an adequate answer as to why this couldn't be done, and I had to agree to a refund, lose more than a month of time, and ultimately release this video with a huge delay. But I still have a question. If they have problems with China's internal customs, does that mean they didn't send this drone to anyone as part of the promotion, and the whole promotion is just a scam to attract attention? What's more, I know for a fact that well-known bloggers received this drone without any customs issues, while many ordinary users were left without a drone. Share in the comments if you have encountered similar problems. I don't want to believe that Geprc deliberately deceived its customers. It seems to me that they simply couldn't cope with the large number of orders during the promotion and had to get out of the situation in this way, which is just as bad and does not excuse them at all. So because of Geprc's management, I wasted a couple of months of my time and spent $100 more than I wanted to. I still hope that Geprc is a good company and that it's just their managers on AliExpress who are at fault, but it's a shame that none of us ordinary users are immune to this kind of treatment. Now let's get back to the CINELOG30 V3, and I'll try to give as unbiased a review as possible. Overall, I like this drone. You saw the cool packaging, the decent set of accessories, replaceable propellers, several replaceable camera guards, a couple of battery straps, and lots of other little things. The design also looks great. But there are a few drawbacks, all of which are related to the 04 Pro antennas. The first one I encountered was the antenna cable extenders. Not only does any additional connection lead to signal decrease, but they're also very fragile, literally disposable. When I tried to change the cable layout and disconnect the antenna to make it more convenient, the extension connector fell apart in my hands, so stock up on a bunch of extra extensions if you buy this drone. The second drawback is related to the wiring in the rear of the drone. No matter how hard you try to lay the antenna wires, they tend to bend right into the propellers, as do the antennas themselves. This is the last drawback, which I think everyone has already mentioned. The antennas are very poorly attached, which means they easily fall out from minor impacts or simply sharp maneuvers. Fortunately, I didn't damage them with the propellers, but I think there have been quite a few such cases. I would also like to note one thing, which I wouldn't call a drawback, but it did make me nervous. When I launched the drone for the first time, there was simply no connection with the RC, and I couldn't understand why, because when I checked the drone by connecting it to my laptop, the ELRS receiver was working and there was a connection with the controller. The problem turned out to be a conflict between DJI SBUS and ELRS, and I just had to remove the SBUS wires from the connector on the 04 unit. If anyone knew about these details, please write in the comments that I'm an idiot, but I didn't have such problems with all 04 and 03 units on other drones. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see an upgrade of this drone. I will make it better and more reliable in the next part. Now let's move on to weighing. And the dry weight of the drone is 190.5 grams, and 1 gram more with an ND filter. With a 550 milliamp battery, it weighs 248 grams, and yes, it's under 250, but 550 milliamps is quite low. With an 850 milliamp battery from GNB, it's already 260 grams. With an 850 milliamp lava battery, it's even more, 286 grams. I really like how the lighting is integrated here. Well, it's time for testing and our first flight with an 850 milliamp battery in an abandoned Korean school, which is a great place to test the CINELOG. Say that I really like how it flies, just like the CINELOG, much smoother and with more control than the Pavo 20 Pro or Pavo 25 V2, which I flew a lot before this drone. Unfortunately, unlike those drones, there's no hint of freestyle flying. This drone is only for smooth, calm flights, no stunts or fast maneuvers at full throttle, but the control on this drone is excellent. I drained the battery a little more than necessary, but got 9 minutes and 41 seconds of flight time, which is an excellent result. Now let's move to the beautiful Ayutthaya Park and check how CINELOG30 version 3 flies with the 1200 mAh battery. I forgot to weigh the drone with this battery, but trust me, with this battery the drone weighs 328 grams, which is quite a lot. But will this increase flight time? After all, this battery has 40% more capacity. We'll fly through the treetops and among the ruins of ancient temples. Scare the squirrel a little and hopefully we won't disrupt her plans too much. We'll chase birds and again and just fly around enjoying the beauty of this park. What was the result? 9 minutes and 32 seconds, practically the same time. Conclusion: in this case, we simply exchanged additional volume for additional weight, and we don't need such batteries on this drone. That's all for today. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.